Hello, everybody. This is Monette who comes back with anything real estate with Monette. I'm here to explain something that happens to one of my clients, and sometimes it happens to several clients, and some of them didn't ask the question, but this client actually did. And I'm glad she did, and I'm coming to bring about clarity to that subject. Sometimes our loan officer give you a pre-approval, and then the pre-approval is different from each other. Let me explain what I mean by that. You got a pre-approval for an FHA loan, that's 420, and you got an approval for a conventional loan, that's 395, for example, or 400. So why is that? Why do I have two different numbers when I'm one person and I'm buying one house? The reason why for this, it's because an FHA loan allows buyers to carry a debt to loan ratio that is all the way to 57% at times. Not every situation, but at times they can go all the way to 57% versus a conventional that doesn't go higher than 50% at times. So because of that difference, the TTI, debt to income ratio or debt to loan ratio, they use different amount of debt. They allow you, FHA allows you to go all the way to 57% of your income, and versus conventional who stays at 40 to 50%. Now, if you're buying a home in a different county, for example, if you live in Massachusetts, you're buying in Bristol, there's another requirement. If you're buying in Plymouth County, different set of regulations, if I may say, they allow in order for you to purchase a home. So this is the reason why a loan officer sometimes or your lender decided to say, hey, your approval will not have a number. It will depend on the type of home you take. You'll see sometimes that you get a pre-approval, they don't give you a specific number. The reason why they don't do that, they don't know where exactly you're gonna end up buying a home. If you buy the home in a place where the insurance is too high, or if you buy the home with taking advantage of a grant, for example, sometimes with a grant they don't allow you to buy a home with an FHA loan. So if that's the case, you buying with without an FHA, you buying for 400. If you buying with FHA and you're not using the grant, you can buy at 420. Why the difference? Because both type of loans have different regulations and debt to income ratio. So the amount they can offer you for one is 57, the amount for the other one is 50. With that being said, if those amounts are so different from each other, therefore the amount of approval you're going to have is going to be different than for each other. So depending on the type of home, depending on the type of loan, depending on the insurance of the area. So there are so many things that are coming to play in order for you to get a pre-approval. So yes, there are some people who don't go through that because their incomes are really high. They have room to go anywhere, to use anything or whatever. That doesn't mean everyone doesn't have their limit. That's not my point. But if your income is very limited, especially in Massachusetts where things are very high when it comes to a home, your loan officer cannot just say you are approved for 420 and that's it for every home. It's not the case because of your income that's so limited. And there's a limit to the amount of loan you can carry, mortgage you can carry a month. Your insurance will make the difference because your mortgage is not just the mortgage. There's more the principal and interest and insurance and taxes. So if the taxes of each town are different, therefore, if your limit to buy a home is $3,500 a month, that's the amount you can carry for loan a month. Let's say you go to a town where and then if your loan officer did the calculations with an insurance of $500 with a taxes of $400, and now you go to a town where the taxes and the insurance are $600 and $400, it changes everything. So this is why when your loan officer gives you a pre-approval, especially those of you who have limited income. When I said limited income, everyone has limited income. What I'm trying to say is that you restricted based on the amount you can approve for because of the price of homes in Massachusetts. So because of that, your loan officer cannot provide one type of numbers. They have to go with different type of scenarios. So this is why when your loan officer gives you a pre-approval, with your income being so limited because of the fact that homes are expensive in Massachusetts, they take into consideration the type of loans, insurance, taxes, and the area you're purchasing. This is why you can see that they give you a pre-approval of 420, and then they told you no, for this home you only can afford 400. It's because they take into consideration again taxes, insurance, and the area and the type of loan you're purchasing. I hope this brings clarity for you who probably thought your loan officer was crazy or your realtor was not willing to go show you houses that are more expensive. This is not the reason. The only reason is because there are different type of situations, different type of scenarios that causes them to stay within that specific limit of how much they can offer you for mortgage, how much they can give you for an approval, because FHA is different, conventional is different, VA is different, a grant, if you're taking a grant, it's different. So because of that, we have to go with specific cases, like specific home, specific price, specific insurance, specific taxes. So therefore, this is why your loan officer cannot give you an exact number for a pre-approval, especially if your income is limited. It was Monette with you at Anything Real Estate with Monette. If you have more questions and you want to understand this better, give me a call at 781-309-2749, 781-309-2749. Until next time.